Hello. What's up, guys? I don't want to fall. It's leaning up against Matthew's books. Okay, I think it's good. So, I'll be drinking coffee today during this little video. Clay had a bad night. We were up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2:30. I'm in a little meltdown. I had to grab the iPad and an Ativan, take it in at 3 o'clock in the morning to calm her down. Then she wouldn't get up for school. She catches the bus at 7:50. She literally crawled out of bed at 7:37. It was not good. She'd eat breakfast. She gets hangry. Then Matthew woke up the exact same time that she had to get ready to go to school. I'm drained. Then yesterday was supposed to be, it was a nice day yesterday. I had in my mind how it's supposed to go. Did not go like that at all. I should know better by now. So she got a new iPad. I posted some pictures through the Variety Club of Pittsburgh. It is a charity up in Pittsburgh that gives kids iPads for communication devices, and the app for the communication is on the iPad, and they give you the iPad, and then the communication app is already on there, whichever one your kid has been using at school or wherever. And then they do adaptive bikes and adaptive strollers. So we had to go up there for that, and we picked her up from school. Mind you, she was up the night before coughing her head off, and she's had this cough for like over a week now, and she just cannot kick it. So I dropped her off at school yesterday. She was fine. She was happy. She had a good day at school. I mean, it was wonderful. Take her up here. We hit the door. Instant meltdown. First of all, she's not good with transition to a place that she's never been before. She does not like office buildings. For some reason, we don't like office buildings. I think it's because of how small the rooms are. We're never really in an office building, so it's a new place. Even her psychologist office, she hates going in there. She don't mind the doctor's office because we're there constantly. So she knows why we're there, and it's cool. She sees the same doctor over and over again, so she recognizes these people. But yesterday it was a new building. She didn't know why she was there. She didn't know why she got picked up from school. She didn't know who these people were. She did see her little boyfriend Gunner there, and her old speech therapist was there from school, but still that it didn't faze her. She was like, get me out of here, I want out, I want to go home. She kept grabbing her coat, kept grabbing my purse, and for the probably about hour and a half that we were there, she melted down like the whole hour. It maybe longer, probably longer, and I mean screaming, crying, thrashing around, wanting to leave, and there's people everywhere. There's the CEO, both CEOs of the Variety Club were there. United Steelworkers, who fund it, their presidents were there and everything. All the IU workers. This guy's trying to talk, and Chloe's flipping out. I mean, screaming and crying at the top of her lungs, which is making her cough. So then she's coughing to where she's almost gagging. Nose is running. I'm like, oh my god. Can this end? Any minute now would be just great. Here, we come to find out, we picked her up when they were going to lunch at school. So she never ate lunch. So she was hangry the whole time. We didn't know because she can't tell us because she's nonverbal. So her lunch was in her book bag in the car the whole time. This is why it sucks for her to be nonverbal. This is why she needed this communication device. She could have just said, I'm hungry, or I want to leave. The place is too small, too many people, I don't know. She could have told me. Words are important. So, anyway, that was our day yesterday. But, back to our video from yesterday. So, I left off with She had her MRIs done, or her one MRI done, which that showed nothing. So we ruled out all seizures. She does not have seizures. At this time, she's 4. I'm trying to think. I don't want to leave anything out. So at this time, she's 4. We had our MRIs done. She will be transitioning into kindergarten in the fall. This I dreaded. I knew it was coming, and I assumed she'd stay at New Horizon, but little to my knowledge, she had to be evaluated to stay at New Horizon. And I was like, okay, well, obviously she's going to stay here when she's not potty trained. Chloe has a sensory processing disorder where she doesn't have the sensation of feeling when she goes to the bathroom. She will just go. I don't know when she has to pee. She just goes. So she is in a pull-up. To this day, she's in a pull-up. And we get those through the state. They're like through her insurance. In the state of Pennsylvania, if a child is over 3 years old and they are incontinent because of a disorder, for instance, her autism, then they will provide you medically supplied pull-ups. They will send you a bunch of samples and you can try them on, which we did. So she has those. So I'm like, okay, she can't go to a regular school. She's not potty trained. Well, here to come to find out, it doesn't matter if you're potty trained or not. You can go to regular school. Then I'm like, well, she runs back and forth. She just gets up when she wants to. She's a wanderer. Chloe has wandered. She can't talk. Like, how are they supposed to know what she wants? She's no capabilities of learning the types of things that they learn in kindergarten. She needs things adapted to her. So, instant anxiety right away. Mind you, this is when every spring, for some reason, I don't know why, Chloe wakes up in the middle of the night and screams and has meltdowns. I don't know if it's the time change. I don't know if it's allergies. I don't know what it is. Seasons. No one knows. We don't know. So she had to be evaluated before, I believe it was middle of May, and she's just up screaming all night. She was missing early intervention. Mind you, she went Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I believe, at this point. She's missing school like crazy because she's up all night screaming. I'm up all night with her, and I was on steady night turn at the time at the hospital, so it really didn't matter. I'm a night owl anyway, so I was up with her. It was like whatever, But we tried everything to get this to stop. Eventually, it was stick a nightlight, a fan, and we changed her sheets to flannel sheets. And it stopped. I mean, this was after months of trialing stuff that, everything. I put lavender in her room and all kinds of crap. So, finally get these to stop. She's still having them on and off, but not as bad as they were at this point. So, they had a psychologist come in, and Jason, shout out, to evaluate her at New Horizon. And they were clear. They said her psychologist who evaluated her is actually the psychologist that she sees now. And we like him. He's really cool. So he evaluated her, and he said, I think she has, I'm going to basically diagnose her with intellectual disability, which this will give her more services for when she gets older. Once children with autism turn 21, they're out of the system. Wipe our hands of you, we're done. No more services. No more TSS. No more going to school. No more anything. She's on your own. You're done. It's scary. I don't agree with that. That needs to change. This is a lifelong disability. Why in the world do you think at 21 years old their life stops? It doesn't. It keeps going. Why would you stop services? It is unreal to me that services stop at 21. Unreal. Anyway. So they evaluated her, and they said, yeah, she cannot go to Fairview. Fairview is our school. She cannot go there. I knew that. So I went and toured McGuire Homes, which I already knew I didn't want her going there because I worked there, and I didn't want her going there because I knew what went on there. So I wanted her to stay at New Horizon. She was used to going there. She knew the people there. She would know some of her classmates because they were just going to stay through their school districts. So I knew, and then they made me tour New Horizon, which I was there before with her early intervention through open house and stuff. She's already going there for 2 years. So she ended up staying at New Horizon. Thank God. That was lovely. That was nice. But then came the time of, okay, Chloe's, going into kindergarten. This is going to be a huge transition for her because she's now going to be gone 5 days a week, all day long. We're going to have to do TSS and speech in the afternoon at some point, which is a very long day for a child. Just think of you being in school all day long and then coming home and having more therapy after school. When kids are outside riding their bikes after school or whatever they do, you're coming home and you're doing more work. Or you're going to speech to learn how to talk. It's not fair. So then I was working steady night turn at the hospital. And we'd have to have somebody be here with her at night and get her up in the morning and get her to school. And while I come home from work, it was a lot. So I had made the decision to quit my job at the hospital. It was hard. I did not want to do that. I did not want to quit my job. I loved my job at the hospital. I miss my girls terribly every day. But I had to do what I had to do for her. And actually ended up starting to work at Fairview. And Chloe and I were all on the same schedule. So she did TSS in the mornings before school. And it didn't work out. It just was not working out whatsoever. They were coming at 6:30 in the morning. As soon as she'd wake up, they were there. Imagine you waking up in the morning and having somebody in your face wanting you to learn. Not good. So, especially for Chloe's very stubborn, very headstrong. She wants to do what she wants to do, when she wants to do it, how she wants to do it. She wants to wake up, go downstairs, sit there for a minute, eat her breakfast, watch a little bit of TV, then we get dressed, get on the bus and stuff. But she was having bad days at school. She was getting in her friends' faces. And it was ruining her entire day. It was ruining her day. So we had made the decision to stop TSS. And this was beginning of October, I think. So it only lasted a little over a month, but that was enough for us. It was enough. So, yeah, we stopped that. Things started getting better in school and whatnot. She started really coming around socially with her peers at school, which I was very, very, very thankful for. Because socially, Chloe will sit there and watch people, but she doesn't want to play with you. She wants to watch you, or she wants to take what you have because she wants it. Same with autism, it's the social thing. And if she sees something you have and she wants it, she'll just come up and take it. There's no, can I have it, please? Are you playing with that? It's mine because I want it. Because she doesn't have that social cue of, well, I need to ask politely, or, can I play with you? No, it's hers. So she did start coming around with her peers at school, which this year is much, 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 much better. I'm trying to think. So then, as I was working, Chloe, it was hard because in November, I I'd found out I was pregnant with Matthew. So that threw me for a loop. And the first thing I thought was, oh my God, it has been Chloe all these years. And what are we going to do? You know, it's been her, just her. Like, she's going to lose it, you know? And I just thought to myself, I was going to be another baby. And all this time we all spent running to therapy. And I finally got a full-time job because I've been part-time because just too much with her therapies and whatnot. There's no way I could have worked full-time. There's no way. I don't know how parents, like, if you're a parent and you have a child with a disability and you're working full-time, you must have a really dang good babysitter because I don't know how you do it. There's no way I could have did it. Running her to speech and TSS and working and no way. And she gets sick a lot. Her being up at night and screaming and me having to go to work, which happened last year. It was awful. So if I was pregnant with Matthew and I knew it was probably going to be hard on her because she has been the only child for so long, and this was going to be, you know, a huge adaptation for us. So I was pregnant with him. She was getting sick a lot at school. I was having to call off work a lot, plus my doctor's appointments for the baby. I was barely at work, and I felt really bad. Every time I called off, I felt like complete garbage because, you know, I had baby doctor appointments. I had ultrasounds. I had the flu. I had gotten the flu when I was 3 months pregnant with him. So I was out for a whole week. Chloe was sick. Then in spring of last year, she started waking up at night, every night, again, screaming. It was all night long. And she started hurting herself. She started scratching herself to where she bled. So, this put me through a complete just exhaustion phase because I was having to call off work. I was so tired. I was pregnant, first of all. Second of all, I was up all night long with a screaming child. She would wake up at 11 o'clock and be up until 8 a.m. screaming and scratching herself, flipping out. And when I mean flipping out, I mean like a fish out of water flopping on the ground, screaming and scratching herself. It was mentally exhausting, I can imagine, for her, because we still don't know to this day what happened. But it lasted for about 2 or 3 months. This went on. We did not sleep. Matt and I did not sleep for about 2 or 3 months. It was terrible. We were back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to the doctors. We tried Clonidine on her, which is a blood pressure medication, to try and get her to sleep to lower her heart rate. We tried antihistamines, thinking maybe it was allergies. Then eventually, the one night it was so bad, I called him the next day at 8 a.m. and I was like, listen to me. You're going to put her on a medication that is going to knock her out at night. And I don't care. And a lot of people might be like, oh my God, you put your kid on a med? Yeah, you go through this. You come to my house and stay up all night with a child that's scratching themselves until they bleed. And then maybe you'll put her on medication. She cannot hurt herself. It came to a point where she was hurting herself. I mean, it's, at what point do you let your child harm themselves to say, oh, we need to do this naturally? No, absolutely freaking not. So they ended up putting her on Risperidol, and she slept that night. I thought something was wrong with her because she slept that night. For 3 months, 2-3 months, she screamed every night. She slept the first night. Risperidol is really good with kids with autism for sleep regression. They diagnosed Chloe with sleep regression. Could have fooled me. So then school lets out, and I had Matthew in July, but during this time, Chloe went through this phase again, and I don't know if it was because the baby was coming, this was happening during the day, but she wouldn't let me out of her sight. She would flip out if I would go to the bathroom, if I would go get in the shower. She would do the same thing as she was doing at night during the day. If I would leave the house, I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't go, like I said, go to the bathroom, go to the store, get a shower. She wouldn't go with people in our family. She'd flip out. So, again, I called him. Dude, this is carrying on over into the day. Like, we need to do something. She's scratching herself during the day. She was at summer school, flipped out, scratching herself because I was not there. So, we ended up putting her on Ativan. And you'd be like, oh my God, your child's on Ativan? You're darn right my child's on Ativan. Yes, they are. Do I care what you think? Absolutely not. Because you deal with this. You be in her shoes and have to deal with her anxiety. And then you tell me if you don't want put on a medication. So, she's on Ativan, and you can tell when she does not have it. She's a different kid. She did not have it yesterday. So, that should tell you. She did not have it yesterday. I do not give it to her on the weekends because she's at home and I'm home with her and we really don't go anywhere. So, I don't give it to her. But you can tell when she doesn't have it. You see her physically getting anxious. She starts like shaking and you see her eyes start like, she like starts twitching. It's the weirdest thing. Think of it almost like a panic attack that she starts to come down with if she doesn't have it. So, we had Matthew. The anxiety stopped. She was sleeping during the night. Then she had to learn to adapt. You're not the only child now. I can't wait on you hand and foot like I normally do, you know? Not that I wait on her hand and foot. It's when she needed me, I was there like instantly. Now it's, well, I'm feeding the baby or I'm changing the baby. You have to wait. And she was like, what do you mean? I can't have you right now. Like, what's going on? She's come around, obviously. He's going to be 9 months old. But it was a big learning curve for her at the beginning. And starting back into school, she had a much better start to the school year this year than she did last year. Much better. Much, 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 much better. I felt really good about her IEP this year, which is individualized education plan, for those of you who don't know the lingo. She much better start to the school year this year. I actually ended up overhauling her entire speech program, and she's starting to say some words like daddy. Everything's daddy now. Everything is daddy. So that's going good so far, and I'm really, really, really happy with it. But I'm gonna end for today, actually, and then tomorrow I think I'm going to ask you guys tonight on Facebook if you all have any questions for me that you would like answered. And then I'll just go back through, I think, in these future videos and just talk about, questions that I get asked all the time. I really didn't cover any of that yet. So if you have any questions for me that you might want to ask, I will answer those. So I will see you guys tomorrow.